And welcome to another virtual tour of the Las Trampas campus in Lafayette. My name is Sandra Cockrell, and I have the pleasure to serve as the Director of Philanthropy for Las Trampas, as well as one of your hosts this afternoon for our virtual tour. Thankfully, it's no longer raining, and so our hosts that are out at the site won't be as wet. A couple of housekeeping items that I want to review with you before we start if you're new to this tour. Our tour this afternoon will take about 30 minutes. We will spend the majority of that time looking at all of the work that has been completed to this point and talking to our guest. At the very end, the last 5 or 10 minutes, we will actually save that time for a Q&A. The best way to enter comments or questions you have is at the bottom of your screen, there is a tab that says Q&A. If you type in your comments or you type in your questions, I will be sharing those at the end of our tour with the guests that we have today. At the end of our tour this afternoon, as always, we have an anonymous survey that goes out. If you could just take a few minutes to go ahead and answer those questions, it is very beneficial for us to have that feedback. So thank you. We will also be sending out later today a recording and the link to this actual recording so that you can share that with friends and family. With that said, we have some very special guests this afternoon. They're actually staff members from Las Trampas. And I think one of the things you'll see is that they have a very unique perspective on the brand new building from the standpoint of working with the individuals we serve every day and having that insight into how the new building is going to provide the independence and everything that we've been needing at Las Trampas. Without any further information, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Dan. And Dan, if you'll take it away, we'll get started.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our February virtual tour. I am super excited to be here. As Sandra said, it stopped raining for a little while, so actually we've got a little bit of sun, and you can see that I'm standing out in front of our new building. But before I get into that, it's not just this building that we're building. Take a look at your screen. We've actually, thank you to a major donor, have built a new website. So this is a place where you can get all the latest information about Las Trampas, including this campus. And we're very grateful to have this new website. Thank you to that special donor. And just want to be able to share that with you and make sure that you have an opportunity to go take a look and see everything that we're learning, everything that we're doing at Las Trampas, including our COVID updates, what's going on with our programs, and what's happening with this building. So take a look at that. We're really excited about that. But we're even more excited about this building. Look at this. It's amazing what's going on here. And with every tour, we like to start it off with a visual of what this campus is going to look like. And actually what you're seeing here is the area that I'm standing in, the area that's in front of the new building, which is our main courtyard. And it's a great place for people to be welcomed and to relax and also participate in outdoor activities, that learning activities related to the program. So we're really excited about that. Before we jump to the inside of the building, look, and you can actually sort of see behind me. Yeah, we've got the blue flame block going up on the walls just to make sure that we are safe and everything is fireproof. It's very exciting, and we've got the flame block on the entire exterior of the building. I believe at our last one, just a couple of sheets had gone up, so a lot has happened since then. And you can see from our next slide that this is on top of that, it's the shell of the building. This is what protects us from the weather. And this is what's going on underneath what will be the exterior eventually, which is either stucco in some places, but we also have that corrugated metal in some of the areas. So it's very exciting that we've gotten this far. And now as we jump inside now, you can see there is the elevator pit, and that's where our elevators to two ADA elevators to help people move up and down between between the first and second floor. And actually, if you see behind me, that's the actual elevator pit there. And then on the next slide, stairs. Stairs. Last month, the stairs were not in, and you can see behind me that the stairs are here. And I think what's really great about this is look at the width of the stairs and the ability for people to move up and down. But in addition to that, I think it's a great place for me to make my grand entrance every day to the programs, because it does feel pretty grand here. And there you can see another view of the stairs going in. And at this time, I would like to introduce some of our guests. Our guests are amazing people. They are just a sample of the amazing people that make Las Trampas work, the frontline people. So today I'd like to introduce you to Joe Cashel, who is our Director of Residential Services and also our Director of Day Program Services. Kate Hartline and Diyanna Mason are both of our day program supervisors, and Betty Jones, one of our day program instructors. But you call her Betty, I like to call her Betty. So welcome everybody. Are you there?
Hi,
Hello?
Dan.
Hey, there's Diyanna. Hi, Diyanna. I think I just heard Kate.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
And there's Joe. Let's start with Joe. Joe, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement with Las Trampas.
Well, like you said, my name is Joe Cashel, and I oversee two of the programs here at Las Trampas. I've been overseeing the residential program for a few years now, and I've just recently been given the opportunity to run the day program, which I'm super, super excited about. And coming here and seeing the progress just makes me even more excited. I'm really looking forward to, the accessibility improvements here compared to our old facility, as well as the technology that we're going to incorporate into this facility as well. I think that paired along with, the virtual learning that we're doing right now is something that we found actually works for a lot of people. So being able to kind of incorporate what we've learned during this pandemic along with the technology that we're going to have available here is just really exciting to see where this kind of takes us. I think that's what I'm most excited about is the opportunity to not only increase the volume of people that we serve here by double, but to have the tools and the utilities to be able to think outside the box a little bit and figure out how we can serve people in new and different ways that maybe we've never thought of before. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to here, and coming here into the space and just seeing the progress that's being made every month is just really, really exciting. Looking forward to my office being done.
Well, we're really happy to have you on board, Joe. And I know that you have some really great ideas of where the day program is going to go. And you're right. In our old location, we were extremely limited as to what we could do. But now it seems like the possibilities are endless. Kate, are you there? I'd like you, Ms. Kate Hartline, to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience with Las Trampas.
So my name is Kate Hartline. I've been with Las Trampas for almost 12 years. This month it'll be 12 years. And
Yay!
I've seen so much change. When I first came to Las Trampas, not only was the building old, but the program was as well. It was not nearly the program it's become. It was, when I interviewed for the position, I was told this is not an adult daycare. And my first day on the job, I realized it absolutely was an adult daycare. I wasn't okay with that personally. I didn't think that people needed to go somewhere else to watch TV all day. You can do that at home. So over the years, things progressed. But when Dan came in and had a vision, which he always seems to have a vision moving forward, and that changed everything for me. That's when I decided that I wanted to make Las Trampas a career rather than just a job. So I'm very fortunate to be part of Las Trampas. I love working for Las Trampas and with everybody that I get to spend my days with. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
shucks, don't talk about me that way, Kate, because actually you've come a long ways. You started as a direct care staff person. And, you know, when I was looking around the facility and I was looking at who really cares about the people that we serve and who really, really wants to see them succeed, you rose to the top, and now you're one of our supervisors that leads, and it really leads the change that we've gone through. So I really appreciate you. And we also have a new, a fairly new day program supervisor, been with us for a couple of years now, Diyanna Mason. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so like Dan said, my name is Diyanna Mason. I'm very lucky to be a part of the Los Trampas team. I was doing direct care for 5 years. I worked at both group homes and in another program. So coming here was like a breath of fresh air. It's a totally different environment, and it really feels like a family. I felt like I was immediately welcomed in from the day I walked in for my interview to the time when I was called to take the position. So it feels amazing. Very fortunate.
Well, we definitely see you as family, and welcome to the family. And I think that's key. Is we are sort of like family, and I guess that sort of makes me grandpa, right? And just in case you didn't know, Diyanna always looks like that. She's always perfectly put together. Not that you aren't, Kate. You look fabulous. Joe, work on the beard a little bit. But then we could talk with Betty Jones. Betty, are you there? Did we lose Betty?
I am. Hello,
there's
everyone.
Betty. Hi, Betty. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you and the work that you do here at Los Trampas.
Okay, my name is Betty Jones. I am a day program instructor. I have been with Los Trampas for approximately 5 years, since 2015. And the people that, the participants that I work with every day are a large part of why I come to work. And I call it work and we call it work, but I don't see it that way. I see it as my privilege to come and interact with people that would not otherwise get the attention or be able to go out into the community and participate and see things. I grew up doing this. I was made for this. I was born for this. This is my passion.
And Betty, we love you. How many times have you been Employee of the Month? I mean, like umpteen million. Betty is just amazing at what she does. Go ahead.
Approximately that much, about 15 million.
Yeah, 15 million. Yeah. You know, we make her Employee of the Month every day. And we absolutely love what Betty has brought to the program. Betty is very innovative. And so many people, and I agree with you, it's a privilege, but many people, you know, who work in this field, it's their day in, day out routine. But Betty's a little bit different in the fact that Betty will look at something and say, hey, this isn't working. What can we do to make this a little bit better? And how can we do this a little bit better? Works with the team and makes everything work so beautifully for the people that we serve. But it's been a struggle lately, right? With this pandemic. How are you holding up, and what is the biggest struggle that you see with the pandemic right now?
The biggest struggle for me has been the distance from our participants. A lot of times it's very important to sit down and have a conversation with someone, especially when they're struggling. I just want to crawl through my computer to sit next to them and maybe hold their hand and ask them, how can I help you? What can I do to make the situation better? That has been the biggest challenge for me, seeing our participants maybe sometimes struggle having a bad day, or maybe a little bit of cabin fever, being stuck inside and not being able to go out like they used to.
Yeah,
And the same goes for myself. Being
oh, I know. I mean, I'm working from home 4 days a week, and that horrible feeling. But then when coming into the office and not being able to see the participants there, that's what I thrive on, and it's really a struggle. Joe, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the things that about the new building that you think are going to benefit the individuals that we serve?
Well, like I noted, the accessibility here is going to be a super improvement. You mentioned the elevators earlier. Just the wideness of the hallways is going to make things so much easier. Everything here is ADA accessible, so doors are wider. Bathrooms are set up more appropriately. Changing rooms are plentiful. We have a kitchen. We're going to be creating a kitchen with that's ADA accessible as well. So, all of that accessibility, it just helps improve independence for those people that maybe use wheelchairs or have other mobility issues. And like I said earlier, the technology piece is I think what I'm really excited about as well, and just the possibilities that we're going to be able to, not only serve the population that we currently serve and expand that to double, but then what other populations might we be able to serve here? What other services might we be able to provide? Really, with this building, the list is endless. The possibilities are endless, like you noted, Dan. So that's what I'm most excited about. And in my other program in residential, there is a certain amount of stagnation in that department. So coming into the day program, I'm really excited to be able to be a little innovative and creative and think of new things that we might be able to do.
So, Kate, Diyanna, Betty, what are some of the things that you think are happening in this building? They're going to make actually your job easier, plus also the lives of the people that we serve easier. Any of you could jump in.
I'll jump in. I'm super excited about button doors. We have several individuals who are able to get around in their wheelchairs because they're motorized wheelchairs, but they used to come up to a door and they'd have to wait for somebody to open the door for them. Now they'll be able to open the door for themselves, which increases their independence. But also, now that we've experienced COVID over the last several months, push button doors are also going to be more hygienic, I believe, and easier to sanitize and keep clean from other, things that come along. So I didn't even think about that till today, but so that's exciting.
I know there's so many things that, I think we've done a lot of pre-thinking, but we forget about some of the little things that make a difference, and just the sanitation alone. I know that our air conditioning system is an all fresh air system that constantly is pumping in fresh air and pushing out the old. So under COVID or any kind of infection, that's super important. And then we have the changing rooms. And I know you and Diyanna have been working with our vendor on the lifts. And maybe Diyanna, if you want to talk about how that is going to affect the people we serve.
The new tools that we're looking into for our changing rooms are going to provide so much more comfortable bathroom assistance for the people who come to the program. It's really exciting that we're even able to have the ability to get a hold of these new tools, and the fact that it's going to provide dignity and respect, the stuff that we take for granted each day. It feels amazing. And when you asked how would it make my job easier, our jobs easier, just the fact that we know that we're doing everything that we can makes every day more easier.
Betty, do you have anything that you want to add to that?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. There is so much on this new campus that is so exciting. Starting with the driveway. We won't have to take the participants over a river to get them to the front door. We have a roundabout driveway, and we'll be able to be more efficient and offload and load our participants onto into the vans and buses more efficiently. And then the changing rooms, oh my gosh, sometimes we have participants that have extracurricular activities after day program, like swimming or baseball. So we have to assist them to get into a swimsuit or help them change out of their clothes. And the changing rooms are just going to help us with efficiency. We're going to be able to do things a little bit more quickly, and perhaps stop the delay. Actually, there won't be a delay in the driveway. There won't be a delay in the driveway and no river.
You know, Betty, that is such a really great point, because instead of spending half of our day trying to get people onto a van so they can do a community outing, now we could just get them on the van and they could spend their day on the community outing. Is that correct? You know, and
Yes,
learning
sir.
out in the
That is
community.
absolutely correct. And that's
I'm super excited for us. I'm super excited for the participants. I'm excited for you because it will make your jobs much easier, and you'll be able to focus on what you're here for, and that is teaching the people that we serve how to become more independent and self-reliant. So I'm just so super excited. If there's anything else that any of you would like to jump in and talk about before I move on.
I think, Dan, yeah, we talked about the teaching kitchen, and I know everybody's excited about that.
Yeah, the teaching kitchen. And I know, you know, Kate, I hate to keep coming back to you, Kate, but you've been involved with Las Trampas Cooks for many, many, many years. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are about this ADA accessible teaching kitchen for the people we serve.
Yeah, we have several individuals who want to be part of cooking, but what we used to have available didn't afford for them to actually access the countertops even. The countertops were too high and their chairs were too low. So they were reaching up, trying to reach to help chop something or to help stir something. To be able to reach the actual mixing bowls to actually mix something would be super beneficial. So accessibility is the big one, and that's going to be huge.
And I thank you, Sandra, for bringing that up. And I know, Joe, you were about ready to say something.
Yeah, one thing I kind of forgot to mention was one of the big changes here is that we're going from basically 3 outbuildings where we had classes to one big building. And, you know, just being here in this space and seeing the hallways, especially, and like the foyer, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the space here being all in one place and kind of more open is going to kind of allow for kind of our community to grow closer. You know, we're not all kind of stuck in these little buildings for most of the day and going to our outings. We're going to be passing each other in the halls. We're going to be able to have these little quick conversations. And I just think that both for participants and staff, we're going to get to know each other just that much better. And then kind of in tandem with that, bringing the outside community in. Like, how do we bring them in here? We've designated a space for that very purpose. What can we maybe offer, somebody teaching a yoga class in our space that can incorporate our participants, but also other people from the community. So we can really improve community integration, which can be a challenge sometimes in this industry. So we're really excited to see how not only our own community grows, but how our community grows outside of just our little silo of a program and out into the greater community.
And I'm standing actually in our learning center, and this is where not just our staff are going to learn about working with people with developmental disabilities, but also where community members and staff from other programs will be able to learn what we learn as we go along, plus the latest and greatest information about services. So we're super excited about that, because I know, Joe, you are a person-centered thinking trainer now, and this is where we will be conducting those classes, not just for our staff, but other staff and the community at large. And with the technology that we need to actually teach these classes efficiently. So super exciting. Well, I really want to thank all of you, and I really and it's Joe, I know you're in the building and everything, and I got to see you a little bit earlier, but I don't get to see everybody in person very much anymore, so it's really good to see you all via Zoom at least. And thank you for being a part of Las Trampas and sharing your thoughts about the new building. So at this time, I'd like to move to our next slide. And here it comes. There's what we're working towards. We always show this picture every month because this is the end goal. And there's that turnabout that Betty was talking about where not just 1 or 2 vehicles can load or unload, but we've got 5 that can happen at the same time with coverage from the weather, which is absolutely amazing. And, you know, we've got, it's a very large building and very accessible. We're all very excited about it. So on the next slide, we're almost there, folks. We are almost there. And I know every month I ask, you know, hey, help us get past that last little bit. We've got just about $670,000 to raise to complete this. And at this time, it's looking like it's the end of August that the building will be done. We have run into some weather issues and some delays, but for the most part, that's really only about a month and a half longer than what our original timeline was. So we're doing really well, but we got to raise that $670,000. In addition to that, we have a donor who's willing to give us $500,000 if we could raise $150,000 more. So every little bit counts. That means that if we can raise $150,000, we get $500,000. So come on, people. I know you want to be a part of this, and I hope that you will be able to join us on this wonderful, wonderful endeavor that we're looking at, and to improve the lives of people with developmental disabilities. Now, I know every month we like to get some questions from you, and I'm going to bring Sandra back in. And Sandra, do we have any questions?
Yeah, we have a couple, and some of them have been answered along the way, I believe. But one of the questions that we have is, will the new campus be able to provide more services?
Absolutely, and that's what we are looking at. And there's a variety of services that could actually happen. And just because we provide day program services here doesn't mean that the building only serves the day program. We have to remember, we also provide supported and independent living services. We also provide adult residential services currently, and this serves as a hub for those services where our staff that do that work out in the community are able to come get their training. They're able to actually work from their offices here. So there's that part of it. Some of the things that we're looking at and we're considering at this point, while we typically have served people who are moderately to profoundly impacted by developmental disabilities, is to expand beyond that into the mild and moderate range to include things possibly like employment services, to also include maybe respite services for families, to include customized day services for individuals in their homes. So the opportunities are wide, and actually our board is getting ready to go into our strategic planning phase right now, and those are a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of those things up and running soon. So it's very exciting.
I'll also note, Dan, that just right out the gate, this facility doubles our capacity. It goes from 60 to 120. So right out of the gate, we're able to increase our services. And along with, like I said earlier, the technology that we're incorporating into the building, we're going to be able to maybe continue virtual services, assuming that, you know, that our vendors allow that, which we are pushing for as a community of vendors. But then, like Dan said, you know, the possibilities are endless, and really the different opportunities that come across our door, we're going to have to look at those individually and decide, you know, if we're going to move forward with those different types of services that Dan mentioned.
And let's not forget behavioral services. The materials that we're putting in here and so forth would definitely help with those if we wanted to go in that direction as well. Super exciting. Joe, and I have to say, I'm really happy to have Joe as part of the team now and leading this, leading the day program, because Joe has a vision and Joe is constantly wanting to improve the services that we have, but also looking at how we can serve other people in different areas. So I appreciate that, Joe, and I'm glad you're part of the team.
So I want to say we are at 3:30 and we promised we'd keep this to 30 minutes. I certainly want to thank Joe and Kate and Diyanna and Betty. Amazing just to hear your insight and how excited you are that the individuals we serve are going to have this new building. And of course, Dan, for doing another amazing virtual tour. And we've had a couple of comments that have come in that people have said it was a fun tour and it was great to hear from a staff. So thank you to everyone. Have a great afternoon. And of course, we'll be back next month on March 2nd. Thank you.
Bye.